Hello and welcome to my review of Shipwire. I've been using Shipwire for about 3 years now, and I've sent tens of thousands of products with them, so I know it pretty well. On the surface, Shipwire look pretty good. They've got a nice website with a calculator, plugs into Shopify quite easily, it's free to send them your stock, and they ship worldwide. But here's why I don't recommend Shipwire to my business associates after 3 years of using them. Firstly, Shipwire packaging and shipping prices are erratic. They can start putting your products in larger boxes without prior notice, so the packaging price and shipping price can increase massively. For example, we use large letters to packet a lot of our products, and these were then put into small packets for about a 3-month period, which increased our packaging costs and doubled the shipping costs, almost making that product unprofitable to sell. So Shipwire say they can just change the prices and packaging whenever they want when we ask them. So you just have to check your quotes each day to make sure you're not getting a bad deal on the shipping and the packaging. So although it is automated, you do have to check the prices you are being charged on a daily basis just to make sure that everything is okay. Shipwire handle returns terribly. I mean terribly. They take about 2 weeks to register a return. So if a customer sends something back to you, you won't get a notification on Shipwire for up to 2 weeks. Even if the customer has sent it by recorded delivery and they have a notification that it's been received by the Shipwire warehouse, it's quite often happens that you still don't have any notification from Shipwire. So this makes your customer service look terrible. And if you're trying to build a brand, it's quite difficult to create great customer service using Shipwire because of this reason. Also, they can't inspect the product. The people who look at your returns are unskilled. They don't look at any documentation which came back with a product which says it was broken or it works perfectly, but I didn't like it. The way they inspect the product is they just look at the product, and if it looks good, they put it back into your good stock. If it looks bad, they put it back into your bad stock. So, for example, if you're selling something like pencils and the customer returned it because the lead was broken inside the pencil, the Shipwire inspection could look at the pencil and go, well, it looks fine. We'll put it into good stock. They don't do any technical analysis or anything like that, or look at the documentation from the customer saying that the lead was broken inside. So what happens is you end up with products which are broken, which go back into your good stock, sorry. And they just carry on rotating. They get sent out to more customers. They say it's broken, they send it back. Shipwire look at it, it looks good, they put it back into your good stock. So you end up with a lot of these mines in your stock, which carry on getting rotated, which is also very bad for customer service and costs you a lot of money because you're paying picking fee and shipping fees each time. They also store your returns badly. If you've ever got a box of returns back from Shipwire which are bad, they're literally just thrown in a box with no protection, packaging. We've had returns which have been damaged because of they've just been thrown in a box. There's also a hidden cost here. They charge you a picking fee for receiving the return. For bad stock, they then charge you another picking fee for sending the return back to you. Even if you want it disposed of, you still have to pay another picking fee. So for every bad return, you have to pay 2 picking fees. For every good return, you just have to pay 1 picking fee. But obviously, you don't know whether it's a good return or not because that's judged by the Shipwire inspector. Next, you can't change return address. This is one of the things which really annoys me about Shipwire. If you thought the returns process was bad and you want to use a third party, or you're just going to get the returns sent to you personally so you can inspect the product correctly, here's the thing. You can't do that with Shipwire. You are forced to use their returns process. And the reason why is because the returns address is printed on all the packaging. And that is the returns address of the Shipwire warehouse. So if your customer gets the product and they want to return it, they just look at the packaging and it says return to Shipwire. So they'll send it to our return address. You could just tell, you can email a customer and say, send it to this return address instead, which is what we do. But you're still going to get the majority of the time, the customer will just look at the return address on the packaging and send it there, because they're not going to ask for the correct return address from you. They're just going to assume that it was the correct return address on the parcel because it says return address. And you can't remove this. You can't take it out of it. Shipwire don't allow you. You can't even change the return address on the parcel. So that's a major issue. Stock goes missing. They don't alert you when your stock goes missing. They just say there was a stock error. So you always should expect some shrinkage with a warehouse, but you can't track how much stock is going missing with Shipwire because they won't tell you. For example, we have products which go down to about 10 in stock, and then suddenly it just drops to 0. And Shipwire will just send you a message saying they expected there to be 1 item there for the customer, but there was none. They won't tell you that 10 was supposed to be there and then 10 just went missing. There's no way to track that. They just put it to 0. So with that in mind, if you have a high value item, especially if it's small, you need to expect that some will get stolen, and you're not going to be able to track how many of those are getting stolen because there's just no way to do it on Shipwire. Recorded delivery is not insured. So if you're sending stuff at the moment through Royal Mail Signed For or UPS Express or any recorded delivery service, usually you get a free coverage included, which is up to about £50. When you use Shipwire, this isn't included. So if you send an item by UPS Express and it doesn't get there, and you want to claim back the free coverage, which was £50, you can't do it through Shipwire. You just have to take the loss. And there's nothing you can do about that. I've had deliveries where it's not even left the warehouse in Shipwire. It's not even been scanned out of a warehouse. And the customer just says they don't receive it. I look at the Shipwire details and it says it hasn't even been scanned out of a warehouse. And there's nothing you can do. You just have to send another one and take the loss on the postage as well as the product. Here's a catch. There is a way for Shipwire to help you here, but it's a hidden cost. The only option is Shipwire's shipping insurance. But the problem is you have to pay the insurance on every single order you send out or none. You can't just have one parcel be insured. Like if somebody orders a lot of product, you can't just say, I just want to insure this one parcel. The rest of them I'm not bothered about insuring. You have to insure every product you send out or you don't insure anything. So it's a significant extra cost. And if you're just wanting the £50 free coverage, you'll find that it will make your shipping costs more expensive using Shipwire than if you just went down to the local post office and shipped it out yourself. If you're using Shipwire quite a lot and sending a lot of products to them, if you don't have barcodes on your products, expect delays. In fact, we sent products over to Shipwire and they have refused to actually put them into stock because they didn't have barcodes on. When we came back to them and said, you don't require barcodes, you just require a SKU on the product, they said, yeah, we do require barcodes. And then I went onto the Shipwire website and found a section where it says you just have to put SKUs on the products. And after about a month of toing and froing with them, eventually they accepted defeat and put our products into stock without barcodes. But initially, for the first couple of weeks, they wanted us to take all the products back out of a warehouse, put barcodes on them, and then send them back to Shipwire warehouse. So if this happens to you, just be aware that you will get delays if you don't put barcodes on your products, even though they say you don't need to on the website. Their customer service is bad. One of the main reasons for this is that it's in America. So it's not that there's anything wrong with American customer service, but if you're outside of America, it's working on American working hours. So urgent issues take time. We're based in the UK, so if we have a problem with the UK warehouse, we then have to call up America, and by the time we get through to those guys, the UK warehouse is generally closed. You can't speak to the warehouses directly, so then the American customer service have to pass on the message to the UK warehouse, which they can't speak to them until the next day. So any urgent issues take a lot of time to solve with Shipwire. And lastly, say goodbye to your stock once you put it into Shipwire. They accept all your stock for free, but here's a catch, and this is off the terms and conditions of the Shipwire warehouse. So once inventory is received by Shipwire, such inventory is unavailable for inspection. So you can't ever go down and see your stock at a warehouse. You can't exchange it or pick it up or anything. You can't drop off stock personally at Shipwire. So you can never visit the warehouse in person. You're not allowed to. They're not open to the public. So if there's a problem with your stock or you want to change something with your stock, it's very, very difficult with Shipwire. You have to make sure that everything's perfect with your stock before it goes there. And if you decide that you want to close shop or something or stop a product line, you can't take the stock back out of Shipwire without getting charged a fee. And the fee you get charged is another picking fee per item. So if you want to take 1,000 items out of Shipwire to either inspect or repair, or you just want to stop selling those 1,000 items because it's not profitable, you have to pay 1,000 picking fees. So that's picking fees generally about $2. So that'd be $2,000 plus delivery to get those 1,000 items back out of Shipwire. Even if you just want to dispose of those 1,000 items, you still have to pay a picking fee. So you'd still have to pay 1,000 picking fees to dispose of those 1,000 items.